that they overturn the Alex Murdaugh 2023 murder conviction for killing his wife Maggie and his son Paul. It does not mean that he's innocent, does not mean that DNA has cleared the guy or anything. But what happened is there's a woman by the name of Becky Hill. This person was the county clerk. And Anthony, this person is in charge of looking after the jury and looking after the evidence. While this trial is going on, she's doing some nefarious things behind the scenes, including writing a book called Behind the Doors of Justice, The Murdaugh Murders. She wanted juicy material to sell books. The justices in this case even wrote it perfectly. Quote, Hill was quite busy behind the doors of justice, thwarting integrity of the justice system. She was sworn to protect and uphold. She went on and pleaded guilty to lying about what she said. The book itself was actually pulled from shelves for plagiarism. All right, Murdaugh, he is not going to walk. He is still facing a 40-year federal sentence for stealing $12 million from his clients. He's a terrible attorney and a terrible person. And if we had to take a wild guess here, which wouldn't be that wild, the guy is guilty of the crimes here. Okay. The clerk tried to turn a double murder trial into her own personal book sales and for her own personal gain here. And I know there are going to be a lot of people that are upset by this. This was the right decision. Because what this court said is that we have a justice system that needs to be fair to both parties. And the justice system only matters when we disagree with the other side. I believe it was Charlie Kirk all the time used to say, Anthony, free speech only matters when you disagree with the other person. As long as you agree, then who cares about free speech? The justice system only matters when both sides have a fair opportunity to present their case and we get a fair ruling from jurors. And that was not the case that we had in this trial. They are going to retry this individual and he will be found guilty, and that's going to move forward. But when I see a story like this, I believe there's an automatic thing where people jump to it and they go, oh, I can't believe this. This guy's getting off because he has money, because he has influence. No, he's not getting off for the crimes. We are saying that in this country, you must have a fair trial. And if you're convicted on a fair trial, then you know what? You should be held accountable to the law the fullest extent. This guy deserves to die. Everybody believes that who's ever seen any facts about this case. And he deserves a fair trial. This is the time if you stand for justice that you have to stand for it all the time. I've said before on this show, Anthony, that there are times where I disagree with something, but I'm very careful. Do I disagree with it because the law, or do I disagree with the decision because it's what like I believe, right? And you have to be careful with that, because as soon as you go down that slope, you open the door up to a lot of crap in the future. For instance, what happens next if we let this slide? Does that mean that a judge can influence a trial because he wants a Netflix special? Think about all these judges that have been a part of something like the Casey Anthony trial, the George Floyd trial. Do you know any of their names? No, because they did their job. We don't want justices, judges. We don't want even attorneys, in my opinion, on the state side, to try to be making a name for themselves through the court system. That's a surefire way for people not to get a fair trial and for people to be judged based on their celebrity, not based on the crimes or lack thereof that they committed. We have to stand for justice when we don't agree with the decision, because that's exactly what justice is. Fair, impartial, to the best of our ability. This was not the case right here. Once he is retried and he's convicted, then we hold that person accountable in the court of law. Not this way, Anthony.
Honestly, I just find it so sad. Like, I feel bad for the families that have to go back and do this whole trial again because, like, he found guilty. So then they were thinking, okay, we're relieved. We got closure, and now they have to do this whole thing, the whole process over again because someone was just selfish and just wanted clout and just wanting money and publicity. And because of this one person, we have to redo everything from square one all over again, put all the evidence back into trial, do basically just the whole thing again, which is just so annoying for all the people involved and all the family members that have to deal with hearing the tragedy over again and just going back to this time that they don't really want to relive.
People need to be very careful, though, not to look at this like, I want to make sure I say this correctly. We want to make sure we don't look at this like black and white. You're wrong. Right. This right here, two things can be true at once.
Mhm.
You can believe and understand that this guy is guilty based on the facts of the case. And you can stand for justice by saying that a trial should be fair. And if we don't have a fair trial, we don't have a fair justice system. And that must be protected in this country. We can't allow bad actors to influence our justice system behind the scenes. And then simply because we agree with the decision to go, all right, it's fine because I agree with it. Because next time it could be you.
Yep.
It could be somebody that you love. It could be a trial where you are innocent and unfortunately money gets involved, or there's somebody behind the scenes pulling a little bit of the strings. You don't want that in your court system. Because if you have your day in court, whether it be for a traffic violation or for something terrible that you're convicted of that you were innocent of, you don't want to be thinking behind the scenes you're not getting a fair opportunity to plead your case before a court and to get an impartial ruling from a jury of your peers.
Yep.
That happened here. And that is why I agree with the decision, not that I agree with him being innocent here. And you must be able to separate the two as a mature adult. I believe that this is a win for the justice system, not for the families, not for the people that are, not for him or anything like that. But it is a win for the justice system right here. And I don't think many people are going to take that route. Everyone's going to say, oh, man, this guy deserves to rot in prison. Of course he does. And our justice system should be impartial. And I'm happy right now that they are looking at this because I don't want to see this happen to somebody else.